What's up everybody, Danny's here and we are back out again with another video. But before we get into it, make sure you check out all the links in the description below. So, we have a new Game Boy Advance game released today, and that would be Wario Land 4. Now, I really love this game though, Wario Land 4. It was for the Game Boy Advance though. It looks kind of cool though. I really like this game, Wario Land 4. Because probably though, I do like all of the Super Mario Land games for the original Game Boy, and there was Wario Land. It was so cool to have Wario as a playable character in Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance. Now, the next games that I've wanted to see for the Switch would be Wario Land 1, 2, and 3, since we have Wario Land 4, probably. Which should be really cool to have on the Game Boy Advance. I mean, we have WarioWare for the Game Boy Advance. I mean, we have WarioWare games on the Switch already. And there was WarioWare for the Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, the Wii U, which was Wario, Game and Wario. And I think there was WarioWare for the original Wii. And there was one for the 3DS too. And for the Switch as well, though. So I like WarioWare Gold for the Nintendo 3DS because I think it was a really cool game to play. WarioWare Gold was such a cool game for the Nintendo 3DS. I mean, who doesn't like WarioWare? Even though I know I do. And I like Wario Land 4 for the Switch on the Game Boy Advance. So, now, apparently though, Wario Land is kind of like Super Mario Land for the Game Boy and Super Mario Land 2, the 6 Golden Coins, which was my favorite game probably. And also I kind of like, I really want to see Super Mario Land 3 for the original Game Boy, but I wanted to see Donkey Kong 94 being added to the Nintendo Switch as well. I mean, probably though, apparently, I really like how Donkey Kong Land 1, 2, and 3 were added on the original Game Boy since we've had it on the SNES. I mean, we've had Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 on the SNES, and then we have Donkey Kong Land 1, 2, and 3 for the original Game Boy. Now, possibly though, we may be getting Wario Land 1, 2, and 3 for the Game Boy Advance. I mean, that's possible though, because apparently Nintendo has added in a few retro games since we're waiting on the Switch 2 Direct or the next Nintendo Direct, possibly. But apparently for some Game Boy Advance games, they're really cool to play, like Metroid Fusion, Mario Kart Super Circuit, and The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap. The Minish Cap was probably one of my favorites though, I'm not gonna lie. But I like Zelda Link's Awakening for the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Color version. I mean, I wanted the original Zelda Link's Awakening to come to the Switch on the original Game Boy because I believe it was a DX version for the Game Boy Color. It's kind of cool to see though. But also, I think we've had Link's Awakening for the Switch, the Game Boy remake we had. Because possibly though, it was ported on the Nintendo Switch, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. They put in like little figures on Zelda Link's Awakening. They did the same design for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Now possibly though, I do like Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance. And what are my thoughts on this game? Well, to be honest, it is kind of like an action-adventure game. Kind of like with Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. It's probably one of my favorites. I really do like Wario Land 4. And also, I've wanted to see Wario Land 1, 2, and 3 for the Game Boy Advance. And also, I wanted to see like Super Mario Land 3 or Super Mario Land 4 for the original Game Boy for the Switch. And also, I wanted to see Donkey Kong 94 being added to the Nintendo Switch. But possibly, let me know what retro game you guys want to see next on the Nintendo Switch. Put it down in the comments below. And yeah, so as you guys may know that we may be having Nintendo Switch Online coming to the Switch 2 or possibly like Virtual Console for the Switch 2. I mean, possibly there may be Virtual Console for the Switch 2, but don't know yet because I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is part of a Switch console, so it may be having Nintendo Switch Online or Virtual Console. We'll have to see. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up here for today's video. I really hope you guys do enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment and share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new to this channel. Make sure to hit that bell notification every time you get notified when I post a video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.